Hey everybody, welcome to Matt Kiteboarding. It's Wing Wednesday. I'm here with Mr. Jeff, and today I'm going to talk with you about the new ShiftLock system from North for 2024. This is the Nova Pro. So this is the only wing in their lineup thus far that has this, but I wouldn't be surprised to see it on their wings in the future here. So we're going to show you how to use it, what some of your options are, and yeah, just basically show you what it's all about here. What do you think, Mr. Jeff?
I think that's the name of the game. You've got options now. In the market here, you know, obviously it looks like we've got the boom option, which I've had an opportunity to put on this new rail system, and we've learned a little bit. I've learned a little bit, yeah, putting it on. And then of course looks like we've got some handle options too, different varying lengths.
Yeah, so we got 1100, 500, 400, and 250 millimeter handles. So whether you want all of the real estate, you can grab it anywhere, you know, a little longer but still a two-handle system, or you know, down to, you know, this little handle, and you can use them all in conjunction, or you can, you know, just use a couple of these, couple of these, couple of these, just depending on the size of the wing, of course. You don't think you can fit, you know, two 500s on a 3 meter, but
nope. And I think to start off too, for those who are thinking about weight, this is the lightest.
That's the lightest. It's also the most affordable because you only need to buy one.
Yep.
And as you mentioned, the lightest because it's only got 2 stanchions rather than, you know, going with something like this with 4. So I do think the boom will probably be most popular. Not everybody wants to, you know, leave that on their wing and carry around a, you know, 4 foot, well, 3.5 foot, you know, boom all the time. But I do think this is going to probably be the most popular option. It's just, why wouldn't you want more to grab onto if it's not costing you weight, if it's not costing you more money?
Yeah. And before we dive into all that and how to put them on, the Nova has been in their lineup for a few years now, but they've added the N-weave material on the strut and a portion of their leading edge. Yep.
So this is the Pro Series.
Yep.
You're going to get that N-weave 45. You're going to get the Matrix canopy, both in hybrid variation. So the whole wing isn't N-weave 45. You know, the critical areas are. So, you know, you keep the cost down. You keep it in the areas you want to. You add a little bit of flex, which just makes it fly really smooth. And then in the canopy, you get the Matrix canopy here where it really matters, and a little lighter weight in the front, where it doesn't bag out quite as much, where it's nice to have a little lighter front end, just so, you know, it feels a little bit more lively and lightweight. So yeah, it's a beautiful wing. Limited experience on it so far, so we'll hold off on the review, but let's talk about this ShiftLock, which uses a double rail system here, similar to like what you get on a sailboat sail. You just have one of these that would slide up the mast, but in this we have 2. So it's extra strong, really stiff and rigid when you're rolling the boom or the handle, you know, in your hands. It's really direct, tight connection, and, you know, obviously offers you limitless options in terms of how you want to set it up.
Yeah, and when I was working with it down in our showroom, because the boom is so long, I mean, you have a little bit of, you know, where you place it. I mean, you can kind of, I don't think you have to be as precise, but, you know, depends if you're more forward or rear. Yep. You know, you can kind of slide it, and, you know, but you have a lot of real estate here to adjust your hands and where you want them.
Yep.
So
they do have reference points. I don't know if you guys can see on the video here, but it says right here, rear handle center point. That's just a reference to give you an idea of where you might want to put them. And then front handle there. So that's, you know, generically where you're going to want to put your hands, at least to start, if you're an average sized rider doing kind of the normal stuff. So, you know, that's just a good reference, you know, okay, I want to put it about there, you know, so I have, you know, my hands kind of centered on there, or maybe, you know, you're a surf guy and you want to be able to pistol grip that a little further forward. You can slide it forward, and your backhand's just going to be a little closer to the rear stanchion, which isn't a bad thing. In fact, personally, I like to move some of that weight forward on the wing. I agree. So it's not as heavy in the back area there. It just tends to luff better and feel a little surfier. So for me, I think I slide it, you know, almost all the way forward with the boom. And we'll test that and let you know in the review section as well. But
based on your riding style too. I mean, if you do a lot of toe side riding and you're trying to go upwind, you know, maybe a little further back, you can really slide that hand back, pull it in to get yourself heading upwind. So.
Yeah, whatever you want to do, man. If you're doing baton twirling action.
One hand,
You know,
pretty simple.
maybe, I don't know, you got your own ideas about where you want that thing?
I think while we're on the placement, I think both of us would agree maybe putting the longer handles on front. You know, one of these longer ones on front.
Yep, you got all the options in the world. There's no wrong answer, but that's similar to something I would do right there if I was rocking a 2-handle system. Having the long handle up front for a little bit closer to the front edge for pistol grip, but then also, you know, maybe back far enough, depending on how you're riding, if you want to be able to one-hand it. You could have it somewhere in that kind of position where you can do both. And you might even adjust it based on your harness line, you know, where you want that balanced, and if you want it, you know, coming off a certain part of the stanchion or whatever.
I would think for those that are really
do whatever you want,
really into making sure it's in the right place for them, it feels right. The handle options may take a little bit more time in adjusting to kind of figure it out. Where the boom, I think for those of us that just want to get on and ride this and just, you know, don't have to think as much, I think the boom might be a little faster just to put it on. I'm thinking for those guys that are really into, I want to make sure it's exactly where it needs to be and the feel, you know.
Yeah, I wouldn't stress about it either way. I mean, you have the reference points, so I mean, if you buy any normal wing out there, it's there. That's permanently where it's at. You can't change it, and that's where you're going to grab it.
Good reference points.
So the reference points are really nice to have to kind of know generically where that should be, and you can adjust, you know, accordingly based on that. But when in doubt, go a little longer, and you've got a lot more adjustment, a lot more real estate to grab onto, or like the boom, like you said, you can grab it anywhere. So
I would agree.
Pretty cool there. Well, why don't we show them how they snap in here real quick, Mr. Jeff?
All right.
When you get these, it comes with your handle and 4 stanchion bolts for each handle, as well as the screw here. So you just put those together, screw it in, just put it in for a half turn, just kind of get it like this, loosely, ready to go. Rather than trying to assemble it on the wing can be really hard, and the first time we even tried to assemble it before we inflated.
We did inflate it, we tried to pull it tight.
Inflate the strut first, it makes it a lot easier, and it also gets kind of the spacing and the tension right on the boom, so you get everything right. It also just gives something easy to push on. So watch how easy this is, just kind of align the area here, push down and slide, bam, tighten it up, and it locks right into place. It doesn't move once it's tight. You don't need to really reef on these, just get them snug. Yeah. You know, it just needs to pinch the rail. It doesn't need to, you know, strip it out or anything like that. Just get it snug. It's gonna stay there. And then you can loosen it, move it however you want. You know, maybe the first time you even bring your wrench down to the beach with you and make some fine adjustments, and then you'll be ready to go for the rest of the time and ready to rock here.
Yeah, it's kind of a nice, I mean, it looks like it'd be real complicated, but when you do that, it makes it a lot easier to get on and off.
Yeah, it's great. And when you travel
didn't read anything the first time we did it.
We just kind of threw them out of the wall.
And we made it work, but it took 2 of us. This, you can just one person. Make sure you just, like you said, lightly tighten those, so not too tight. And then
would have been a lot easier if we had made this video for ourselves in the future. But here we are helping you out, so that's how we do it. Interesting thing about these handles, there's a few cool details. First off, this isn't just round. So this is kind of an oblong shape. You can see here the little ridge it has here. It's a finger bar. So there's more padding there, but also you can grip that, kind of like a rock climber would, where it's just the tips of your fingers is all you need to hang on to that. It's very comfortable, really ergonomic, and gives you good leverage over the twist of the wing if you want that for like freestyle maneuvers and free ride maneuvers and whatnot. The stanchions here are real minimal, kind of angled, real comfortable to grip. You know, pistol grip if you're riding surf.
Thumb spot too for your thumb.
Yep, got a thumb spot. You can kind of do that, feel comfy, know where you're at. But they're also, I don't know what you call this material. It's like a rubberized
it's
material outside of the plastic here that, you know, isn't going to hurt your board, isn't going to hurt your body if you hit it. It's also just kind of grippy and nice.
Yeah, I do like the ergonomical shape of it. Not round, but a little less hand fatigue.
Yep.
And you can kind of, you know, as I've winged longer and got in the sport, you know, I don't death grip it like I used to.
No white knuckles. Just
you just kind of
3 fingers even a lot of times.
So they feel real well. So nice job with that. Time will tell too. I mean, I think if you find a spot where you really like your handles, you just leave it on there and then fold your wing up. Obviously, if you leave the boom on, you know, that
You'll be able to fold in.
you
a
can
little
just
bit,
fold in, but you're definitely going to have, which I did the first time I used it. I had when we put it together and I put it in my car, I had the boom on.
Right.
Takes up more space, but as you said, you just lightly loosen these and then they just pull them off.
Yep.
So you don't
for travel
keep
too.
these pieces on.
Yeah.
If you loosen it too much, there's two pieces here that'll fall off.
Yep.
These end pieces.
Yep, so keep it slightly threaded on. For travel, you can really pack it down tight if you take the handles or the booms off, so that's a cool option.
Put it in your board bag.
Yep.
And then, you know, the longevity of it, you know, time will tell. I think if, you know, obviously you keep the track clean and use some common sense and not over tightening or, you know, sliding around where it doesn't slide easy, I think you'll have a good long use out of it.
I think so too. I mean, the rail system's proven in sailing. This has been around for forever, and it is extremely tough. You know, if you're not constantly, you know, reefing your bars on this and chafing this for some reason, running. Yeah, I mean, you shouldn't be doing that regularly. It should kind of stay where it is, or you're putting it on and off. You're not rubbing it and chafing it. You know, it's going to be fine. And, you know, the nice thing about the removable handles is something happens, you know, you run it over with a car or something, just forgetting about it or something, you can buy a new one. They're dirt cheap.
Have you done that?
No, but I've run over things before. Yeah. Leaving them behind the car or whatever.
So for the customer who wants to purchase this new Nova Pro, what does it come with, or how does the purchase?
Yeah, good point. So this does not come with the handles. That is up to you to pick the one that you want, buy them. That way you're not buying something you don't need. They're not producing something that's going to end up in the garbage. So when you buy this wing, you're going to need to pick your handles. You can buy one boom, or you'll need two handles. It doesn't come with a set of two, it comes with one. So if you're buying a 250, you're going to need two 250s, or a 250 and a 400, 500 or 400. And North does have a suggested chart to tell you kind of the largest that you can use. So, you know, on the big wings, it's going to be two 500s. On the smaller wings, it's going to be two 400s, etc. But the boom works on all of them. So that's kind of the easy answer. And that way you can customize it any way you'd like. So that's real fun. In addition to these handles, they've actually got some other accessories. They have a stanchion GoPro mount. So it kind of just looks like the end of this here that you can put anywhere on the track. And it has a little GoPro screw-in adapter here. And you can put that on the front or the back or anywhere along. So if you're using a 360 camera or a GoPro.
Nice bonus.
It is super tough. You don't need to try to jam it in here or tether it to anything. It's just solid. It's built to go with the wing. Additionally, they have a paddle mount, which is just like this, only it has a little kind of U shape on the top with a Velcro so that you can strap a paddle rather than a handle. So if you want to downwind and wing, so a lot of people upwind with the wing, pack it down, downwind with the paddle. That'll allow you to do that without any extra handles, without having to buy extra handles, and really, you know, use your paddle as your boom, so to speak. So I don't think a lot of people will be, you know, doing that necessarily unless you're really into downwind, but it's a cool option. And the other thing you can do with those paddle adapters is you can use them for a GoPro pole. So if you really want to extend this further back and get a wider angle, or I like to push it off the front when I'm free riding or racing, and you get that front on view, those are real cool options with the paddle adapter. You can use an extension pole for that.
And for right now, this system is just available on the North Nova Pro.
Correct. Not on the Nova, just on the Nova Pro, not on the Mode Pro, not on the Mode Ultra, any of those new models. Only on the Nova Pro. I think they're just kind of throwing it out there, seeing what people think. But I could definitely see this being kind of the standard handle in their lineup for 2025, perhaps. Yeah,
I'm excited to try it out. Obviously with the boom and with the handles, and you know, see what the different feel or how it performs based on the locations and the sizes.
Yeah, thus far I'm really impressed. I think, you know, they really executed, you know, the concept well. The design's fantastic. You know, they really figured it out in this first generation as far as I can tell, but we'll come after you with a review here once we've ridden it quite a bit. Yeah,
no surprise by North. I mean, they came out of the gate with high quality, a nice looking product, you know, branded well, and so
their design team is fantastic. Yeah, you can't say enough about them.
No, next step up. So those of you that are North riders already, maybe have a Nova, want to have options for the handles, I think this would be a good wing to give it a try and
Yeah.
have that option. So
Yeah. The Nova's always one of those wings that's super versatile as well.
big time.
So this is a great wing for almost anybody to look at, but especially if you're riding different day to day. You know, today I'm riding waves, tomorrow I'm racing my buddy, the next day I'm doing freestyle. You know, the other day I'm going on the ice and ice skates.
Yeah,
The wing kind of does it all, and it does it all quite well. At least as we've tested so far, and we'll get more to you on that in the full review.
Yep, and excited too with the end weave and the added rigidity and the flexibility to even improve the performance of this wing already.
Yeah, exactly. We're pretty stoked on it, and we'll be back with you, full review on some of the new products, including some of their other wings as well, here in the near future. So stay tuned.
Feel them rails.
Ride into rails, brother.
You can grind the rail. I like that. We're having a lot of fun with this. No, I'm just...
He's amped.